Alright, hello everybody, Silver here. We're back. Okay. So, let's go over here. Gotta do this, of course, of course. I'm still questioning. I really don't wanna, like, heavy farm a lot of shit. In order to, I don't want to heavy farm a lot of shit in order to, like, get a ton of polychrome. I just don't want to. Because, again, that's a quick way to burn out on this game. Oh. By the way, since I'm VTuber adjacent, I've been seeing some stuff recently. I'm probably quite late to this, but, like, there's some stuff about certain VTubers, not saying names. Again, I don't get into drama. But there's some stuff about VTubers who are, well, okay. To avoid, because if I explain it in a certain way, it'll immediately be obvious. To avoid that, let's say this. I feel like in order to call yourself a VTuber, in general, you have to make some type of content, right? And it can't just be, oh hey, I post on Twitter. I'm a VTuber. I have a model, or I have a character that I post. Uh, that's supposed to be me. And all of your activity is just on Twitter. There's a difference if you, like, kind of go live on Twitter, I guess. But you can't really do that, can you? You have to go live somewhere else and then, like, broadcast to Twitter, I think. I don't know how that works. I don't even know if Twitter has a feature like that. I thought it did. But I could just be wrong. Uh, but I genuinely feel like you have to make some type of content, right? And it has to be VTuber content. Specifically. It can't be like, oh hey, here's, I'm live streaming, but it's all just, flesh. I'm only doing it in, like, actual me. Because, like, you can't claim you're a VTuber if you're just, most of the time, doing, like, in-person stuff. And there's some people who actually, like, acknowledge that. There's this one, Pasta. She's part of, like, she does a lot of content with, like, the Vanoss crew and stuff. And she had decided to, because I do watch her, she decided to go and stop really doing the VTubing quite as much. And decided, that's not for me. And went to doing it as herself. She stopped, claiming that, oh, I'm a VTuber and stuff, and just did more live content. Which is the perfect way to go about that, if that's what you want to do. I'm already getting to the point where you probably know what I'm talking about. Because it is kind of on Twitter. If you don't, I'm not going to tell you. But if you do, you know, I'm not sorry. Uh, but no, it's. I feel like that's the right way to go about it. Once your content is basically mostly just posting you yourself, you're no longer a VTuber. Because that's kind of what the point of VTubing is. It's kind of like virtual idol culture. And yes, you can. It's fine to break some of the idol culture, like, oh, not being able to have, like, a boyfriend or significant other, you know, or not talking about certain things. Like, that's fine. That's fine to break that kind of mold and still be a VTuber. Because VTuber means virtual YouTuber, not necessarily virtual idol. You could do all the things like an idol would, but virtual YouTuber is where I draw the line there. You know? It's like,
Hey, don't look down on me.
I want. I like that line. I do. I like the line of. Uh, you shouldn't be. Oh, excuse me. You shouldn't be posting mostly like you yourself. Most of your content and the stuff you do should be your virtual avatar. Because then you're just a YouTuber. You're not a VTuber. It's about the anonymity and, you know, wanting to portray the character that you are. And sure, I don't portray a character. It's just me. But I don't necessarily like my content to be about me as a person, necessarily. I mean, I make it that. But what I mean is, like, I don't want my face to necessarily be the focal point. I don't want people to focus on, oh, hey, look at him. And then that's what they see. I like the idea of it being you hear my voice, you don't see my actual face, but you see like my avatar. And you're like, yeah, you know, I can get behind this. Uh it doesn't make it quite I say, but or I feel, but sometimes that's necessary to have like a less for me it feels like to have a less parasocial relationship with people, especially in like a content creator field. It feels important because if you want a parasocial relationship, go to Twitch, go to that kind of thing. That's what that's for. Like, there's a shit ton of people who have just parasocial relationships with their viewers on Twitch, and shit. I mean, I'm not saying YouTubers any better. Like, there are a lot, but it's a lot less. You get people who are more like, yeah, no, I'm not like, I'm just a content creator. I'm not trying to be like, not trying to like hit on anybody or use my station to be like, oh hey, I'm going to, uh, I'm gonna like abuse my power over other people. The best way to put that. And I do feel like that's important, genuinely, to have a distinction like that. Four. Don't need a four, especially one that has defenses than stat. I just feel I feel that way. I feel there is a distinction. It's fine to decide to do VTubing like your own way, but once you stopped really doing like VTubing content and you're venturing straight just into IRL content or just showing like a face cam, that's where you stop being a VTuber. Just in general. And it's same with like the people who are on Twitter who you often see say, oh, I'm a VTuber, but then you go to like their channel or something. You go to like their channel or something, let's say, and all that you see is just like a blank channel. There's nothing there, you know? You see nothing and you're like, you are advertising yourself as like a VTuber. What's going on here? And it turns out they just don't post content whatsoever, but they've been a VTuber for like half a year and have never posted a single video or done a single live stream. That in and of itself, I don't feel like you're a VTuber at all. It's one thing to not be like, to not be ready and say, oh, I'm, you know, like pre-debut. But if you're pre-debut for so fucking long, just stop saying you're pre-debut and say, oh, hey, you know, I'm waiting. You know, you don't have to keep saying, oh, it's a pre-debut. That's just my opinion on it. And other people might have a different opinion. I feel like Twitter would definitely have a different opinion. But I'm sure there's a lot of... Actually, I know there's a lot of people who are, like, in the VTubing scene who kind of dislike that idea that people are like, oh, yeah, I'm a VTuber, and then they never post anything and only talk. It's mostly the indie VTubers who are like, yeah, no, that's fine. And it's the group of those types of people who also do that themselves, who say, oh, it's fine. So it's people who aren't actually, at least in my opinion, VTubers who are reaffirming each other that they are still VTubers. Like, I've gone at times, you know, I've taken breaks for extended periods of time, you know, at different times. And even then, like, I'll admit, I stopped really calling myself a VTuber when I was doing those breaks, because I'm not making content. I would say, oh yeah, I used to make content as a VTuber. I haven't done it in a while. I wouldn't say I'm currently a VTuber. Especially during some of my longer breaks. I wouldn't do that. If it was something where I was planning on coming back very quickly, I might say, oh yeah, I'm a VTuber, I'm just like on a little break, you know, hiatus. But what the fuck? Let me do the thing. There we go. But no, it's... I have opinions on that myself. Like, it's genuine opinions that I feel like aren't necessarily... They're not even, like, hard opinions to have. It's genuinely, pretty standard opinions, I feel like, in the VTubing scene. Not like super out their opinions that other people are gonna be like, oh, what the fuck? How dare you say that? I'm pretty sure a lot of the actual VTubers agree. Because you see a ton of people who are just like pre-debut, 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 but they've been pre-debut for like damn near a year, and it's like, come on. At some point, you gotta man up, or rather, like nut up, and just make content, because you're not gonna be making money or making a following if you just say, "Oh, I'm a pre-debut, I'm pre-debut," and all you do is kind of like try to market yourself and do that kind of thing. It doesn't really work, you know? It doesn't. I mean, it works to an extent, because people wouldn't do it if it doesn't. But it doesn't work to make you a VTuber. It works to make you almost an e-beggar, to a degree. Because a lot of those people do also... I mean, they don't necessarily beg. A lot of them I see are artists who made their own stuff and are now promoting their own stuff, but they never do like actual streams or anything. Even doing an art stream would be fine, you know, because then you're showing off your talent. You're not even doing that. Which makes it feel even less like a good idea to commission them, for me. Again, I might actually get hate on that one for, like, from the art community, but that is my opinion on that. Just genuinely my opinion. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't like that kind of thing. Because, like, if you are marketing yourself as a pre-debut VTuber, you've never once done, and you're doing it for a long time. You're not even, like, you're several months in, you know? And there's not even a hint that you're about to start streaming or start making videos of any kind. Like, especially if you already have your quote-unquote model and shit, you're not in an agency. Again, a lot of these people are genuinely just indie. They don't have an agency. They're just sitting there, you know? So, like, what are you doing? You don't have to apply to a schedule like that. You can just decide to do it. Like I do. Like, when I first did my model, this is my very first model. It was my Final Fantasy XIV model. At that, I just showed up with it. I didn't necessarily say, oh, hey, it's a pre-debut. I just put it on because it was more entertaining to have something, because I didn't do face cam. Even back then, I didn't do face cam. It was more entertaining to have something that at least showed when I was talking. In, like, even this way, because it was also a PNG model. It was a PNG model, just like this one, with the same style of how it talks. This one does have, like, actual expressions. And again, this is rigged. The other one didn't really have expressions. It did have a blinking animation. This one doesn't currently, because I don't have blinking expressions. I don't have an expression that's blinking. It wasn't made to be a PNG tuber. I adjusted it to be PNG because I couldn't afford doing the actual, like, getting it rigged. I had it cut to be a live 2D model, but it's not rigged to be one yet. I don't think I could even run the software to make it work properly at the moment on my PC while also making videos. But either way, that's my genuine opinion on like the current quote unquote VTuber meta type of shit. It's not even like a meta, it's just what certain VTubers who were really popular are starting to do now. And it's like, what's the point? What was the point of being a VTuber if, you know, now you're just using the audience you gathered to be like, oh hey, I'm gonna be Flesh now, but I'm still gonna claim that I'm a VTuber. I'm gonna be a Flesh tuber now, but I'll still have that VTuber tag. I'll still be using all the same accounts. It's not like Coco from HoloLive, who, after she graduated, she became a different. She came as a different VTuber, and then eventually, I think she went to flesh tubing. I don't know what she does now. I don't know if she's still doing like the VTubing or if she's just doing like standard flesh tube stuff, or if she's even doing any of that anymore. I hope she's doing pretty well. And a lot of people forget, like, I think it, who was it? Kizuna Ai? Was she, like, one of the first ones? I know like, part of her name was AI. She's, like, one of the really first ones to actually do VTubing. Before that was, like, what it was. She was doing it beforehand. We have a lot to thank her for. As VTubers, you have a lot to thank. Kizuna Ai, I believe is her actual name. Have a lot to thank her for. For, like, getting this far with everything, really. No. Either way, I'm rambling at this point. So, I'll say it. I'll end here. I'm done rambling. I don't like how some of the VTubing community is. And I have very strong opinions on what makes a VTuber, I would say. Because I barely count. I'm a PNG tuber. But it's easier to say VTuber than just PNG tuber. Even though I am a PNG tuber. It's easier to describe it. Because people understand what VTuber means. When you say PNG tuber, that only makes sense to other VTubers. When you say PNG tuber to somebody who doesn't, like, watch PNG tuber or watch VTubers, they're just like, what does that mean? I don't understand. What does that exactly mean? And then you had to explain that you don't have, like, a moving model. It's just, like, a picture on screen. But, yeah, no. Either way, that's my opinion on that matter. It's very... I don't feel like it's super niche. There's a lot of people who seem to have somewhat agreeance on my stance on it. But, yeah. That's just my opinion. Either way, I'll be ending the video here, so thank you all so much for watching. And if you want to support me in a way that's not just watching the video, I've got 2 ways down below in the description you can go about doing so. First way is my Honey Game referral code link. I'm not sponsored. at all. But in order to support me through that link, all you have to do is click it, sign up for HoneyGain, download the app on either your PC or an Android device, log in on that device through the app, and then use the device as normal. And you are not only making money for yourself, but you're supporting me and helping me get to my payout faster. The other way is my Ko-fi link in the description. It is just a donations page. There is no exclusive content on it whatsoever. It is just for donations if you really enjoy my content and want to help me get to be able to afford better hardware and stuff like that to improve the actual setup that we have here. But I just wanted to talk now to the people who have watched for 26 minutes. If you're still here after all of that rambling, genuinely, I wanted to tell you thank you for considering me worth your time. Your time is precious. A lot of people don't actually understand that, but I do. Your time, it's valuable. Even a few minutes of your time is more than some people make it out to seem. They'll say, oh, it's just like a 30-second clip. It's not gonna, affect anybody if they're just watching it. That's still 30 seconds of their life. Time is finite. And what you choose to consume, what you choose to do with that time, that matters. And I don't want people to just feel like, oh, hey, I want you to watch just reviews. That's not what I do here. I want your time listening to me to genuinely be enjoyed. I want it to feel like you matter. That it sounds kind of like you're just listening to a friend ramble, even if we don't know each other. That's what I want it to feel like. I want it to feel like you're just listening to somebody talking to you, sitting beside you while playing a video game. Like the good old days of enjoying games. That's what I want this to feel like. Not in a parasocial way, but in just a, like a classic YouTube way. Something that's just much... It feels like it brings back how shit was before. Farther back than like the what we see now, the standard bullshit that goes on. But I just wanted to say thank you for considering me worth your time. And to anybody else watching, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.